Hello, everyone, and welcome to Recapping the Elite episode something. What episode are we on now?
It's either 7 or 8.
7 or 8. Yeah, it was next week. I'll say in advance, it's going to be a little weird because Dynamite is Saturday night special Dynamite. But I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't think there was anything too special this week except proof that Tony Khan watches us because everything we said was going to happen, it happened. The only thing that didn't happen is Arn pulling out the gun. Yeah.
Yeah. I, he should have when he was out there, but yes.
So is he like
Uh,
trying to turn Cody into a badass? Is that what you're thinking?
I think it definitely involves uh some it has to involve something to make him want to do some heel move. And maybe it'll be go into like a wrestling verm terms of like he's got blood on his hands. He doesn't know what to be. Is he going to be a bad guy? Like, is he going to have to like kick Arn off the are they going to do some weird executive decision, or is it like actually going to be some real wrestling thing? Like, get out, Arn. I'm no more. I don't need you no more. You're just being bad. Blah blah blah. Or is he going to go bad?
He swears up and down he's never turned in heel. I mean, he reiterated that again this week. But the gimmick is, I like how, and see, they listen to you. More proof that they listen to you word for word when Arn said, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves. Like, Cody, you're leaving to do the variety show. You're leaving to do this show. It's everything you said was in that promo.
I wish I did think of that. Why don't you put a star back on your face, Cody? Would you like that? That
That
was
was good.
that was great.
We called the main event. I mean, everything we said was going to happen happened. So either I believe they watch us, or their booking is just getting lazy because we're not really reinventing anything. We're just, I don't know.
We're
They're
yeah.
watching us.
I hope so. Tony or a worker of Tony, just give at Mike 593 or at Hardcore Grave, just give us a DM, and if you need any help with the story or just give us some info, we'd love it.
And if you are watching, which you know you are, please book the Narc against MJF, because MJF and Darby, I don't think is the way to go here. Because I don't know who's going to do the job. I mean, neither one of those guys should do a job. Darby already did his job to CM Punk, who's, man, I'm gonna tell you what, the crowd still eats it up, but that got old to me fast.
It is getting very old. And this whole kumbaya fucking CM Punk, yeah. I That's definitely also that's what Daniel Bryan wants. Daniel Bryan wants to have a moment with MJF. And then I like how MJF goes, I'm busy on Twitter. But I just got to the part of Rampage where it shows like the the special Miami show. That's gonna be a good show. They have Daniel Bryan versus Bobby Fish.
Where is he? Was Fish in WWE? Was he in NXT?
Yeah,
He
I
was.
think
Was
so.
he in Cole's gang? Was he one of the guys from the whatever the gang was
Yeah,
called?
I don't think he's part of the unrivaled or whatever. It's like
It's not the Attitude Era. It's not the fucking.
it's the un something un
I can't think of it.
who
I like Adam Cole.
like this thing or whatever.
It'll come eventually. Undisputed Era.
Undisputed.
Cole did all the work though, but I like Cole. Cole's so small though. When I see him, I mean, my God, when you're in the ring with Christian Cage and you look puny, that's sad. When I'm seeing like Matt Cardona in GCW last night, he's jacked to the gills and a marvelous tan, might I add, next to
Yes,
Effie, who looks like a heroin addict recovering. So I mean, you can definitely see when the athleticism is there.
speaking of GCW, I saw a lot of because I don't want to spoil the results for you, but no, I saw some gifs of like name this move, and then someone picking up a guy, catching him, and then doing a power slam to him. And I'm like, is GCW a lot of it just that's going to have a big guy go against a 205 guy,
Last
and
night,
then be a rag doll?
yeah, they had a few guys last. One guy got thrown into like the third row of the crowd. The Bam Bam Spike Dudley. In the Janela, Marco Stunt was getting tossed around. I am convinced Marco Stunt got knocked out or he got hurt because he got caught in like a power bomb and he laid on the apron, damn near unconscious. They kept checking on him, and Janela was stalling because he was wrestling real slow against Starboy Charlie at the time. It's like Janela usually doesn't have such a slow pace, but
Yeah.
Stunt did eventually climb back up. But you got Margot Stunt who can take these incredible bumps, and he just stands in the corner of the Jurassic Express. I don't get why he's not involved more. He's very talented. I can't praise him enough.
They practiced that move for GCW on Dark with Wardlow, threw him up in the air to catch him, to slam him down. Like that was high too. I'm like, holy shit. Like, man, I like the meme I saw that he retweeted. It was like, it has the song do do, and he's going up into space and coming back down.
Yeah, I like Marco, but instead, we might as well say, in the opening, I had my results were a day later. The Elite, all like you said, they always open the Elite. You had the Elite took on Jurassic Express with fucking, my buddy, who's just a leech when it comes to, sponging off of these talented guys. And they teamed up with Danielson, that fucking stooge for McMahon, and they put on a good match. And I'm gonna say it again, that crowd was way more into Adam Cole than they were into the whole yes, yes, yes thing. So, but the match was good. I had a good opener.
It was really good opening, and then also, yes, people are very excited for Cole to be back, like tour. Maybe it was just because of being not stuck in NXT, but also like NXT is very limited on their like where they go or whatever. But the idea of and then it probably just because the crowd is still trying to figure out who to boo for this segment, because obviously people love Dress Express, but like who gives a fuck about Christian? And then Daniel Bryan is, I think sometimes the crowd wants them there. Of course, it goes into that CM Punk. CM Punk, I think CM Punk sometimes fizzles out the crowd to come out and say kumbaya and then all that shit, because it's getting a little like, oof. And then now we got to go, oh, story time. It's not even a good story time. I started in Chicago and then I came over to Philly, and you guys, you're awesome. Like
my car.
I step in my car.
Where'd you get your hat? I'm sorry. I just realized it has horns on it. Batman?
Blunt Man.
Blunt Man. Okay.
From it was a comic shop a couple years back. Someone had the Blunt Man hat, so I'm gonna get it. I got it.
No. Yeah, ironically, Kevin Smith said he's hoping to get re-invited back to AEW because he's buddies with Jericho. But no, I like the match. I really, for some reason, like the spot where Cole puts somebody in the chem clutch and the Bucks do the run. 1, 2, and they overdo it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they just stop and they kiss him.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think, well, the whole crowd thought it was funny. I mean,
yeah.
Like, I think the yes is almost more, not, I don't want to say forced, but the people are just doing it, where with Cole, they genuinely, I think they really like him. I think he's I say it again, I think he's one of the most over guys there.
It has to be, no, he is over. I like him. I just, it goes into that whole idea of like, it could be from your fans of him from Up, Down, Down when he's Chugs, his Twitch streams, Chugs. And then it could be just because he put in work for NXT. He did a great job. And then there is something, even with Daniel Bryan, even though Daniel Bryan feels more narky, there is something with when you leave a company and then gets to what is it, on good terms, kind of, basically, and you don't give him shit about besides saying I'm this is the best plate, which is obviously how you do it. That's how you sell your promo. This is the best place to work, blah 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 blah. But he didn't go like, oh, fuck this guy. They treated me like they put their finger in my butt. You know what I mean? He didn't say all that shit, and it does work. So I'm just more saying and I think he just over because like it could be because it is the Elite's promotion. You watched him die from Monster Energy drink. He got come back from a seance through the Being the Elite episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just part of the brand. And obviously how the Young Bucks do the death kiss or whatever they call it. Like that I love, and that's why I want that shirt with the two deer kissing this Adam Cole's
I don't like it
skeleton.
if it wasn't deer. It would have been better if it was just like their faces. When I saw it was the deer, I decided not to order it. I did order the All Elite Bay though, so.
Oh, but
No, I thought the match was good.
it was
Good back and forth, and I get the Jungle Boy is always going to take the pin, but I think Luchasaurus should take it sometimes too, because Luchasaurus did not have a match with Kenny Omega that tore the house down on the Saturday night show. I mean, Jungle Boy's always eating the pins in these matches, always.
Lucha also had it was a good match even with that botch with the fucked up power bomb trying to Luchasaurus and they failed and they at least how do I word it?
They kind of
The Elite,
like, oh yeah.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. I was gonna say, like, I don't see any other wrestler or even team that could sell a botch as well as like the Elite can of going and like ooh and like all that shit. But yes, I'm not sure. It was just there was some I think there's a lot of botches to the whole show, but I just can't remember. Put my finger on all of them, but I just remember that one in just particular because it was so highlighted.
Where's Callis?
He's in Nashville.
Why isn't he in the East Coast? Warrants?
He got warrants. I don't know.
But for what?
You don't want to know. Not on this show.
No. I guess fans, you can do like I'm gonna do after the show and just Google it. I'm sure the information's out there but I like Don Callis. I like when he's at the booth because I have to say it, that announce booth, that's my complaint. They gotta have a heel up there. You have 3 good guy cheerleaders. It doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't even think Taz was up. Yeah, Taz was in there. No, he was there for Rampage. No.
It was him and Jericho just yelling over each other at Rampage.
Yeah. No, I agree. That involves that's just a staple thing that should be there. But they're just too happy to be there. Whatever. But yeah, it was a good start, but then I think it gets a little fizzy at the end of the Dynamite.
Yeah, because up next is the guy who didn't put in the work, Bobby Fish, against Sammy Guevara. I won't lie to you. I like Sammy Guevara a lot. I thought this match was boring as shit. I know it was just a wrestling match. Maybe I was in the mood for flippies because Sammy flip, but I mean, I think for me too, it was like, why? What? So the story is Bobby Fish on Twitter went, "I'll fight you for that belt." Okay, it was a dumb. Why? What did he do to get the? So I could say on this show, I want to fight Sammy Guevara for the title, and I'm going to get a match next week because I'll fight Sammy Guevara for the title next week.
Right.
It was dumb.
It made him, and then Bobby Fish is now All Elite. He's part of the show now.
And
but yes, I think that's it. And I think he's going to lose next week too. So I don't understand where his ideas are good. But I have again, it goes into that idea with even CM Punk. I have no history of Bobby Fish. So seeing him, okay, you got a cool thing. You got the mustache. I think like the gentleman's mustache, and like you have like a mouth guard makes it look like you have like Jaws from 007, like that shit. But then I see that, so you just do roundhouse kicks and kick flippity people off the ropes. Yeah. Okay. And then I think that first one was a little botched. I think Sammy did fall like, oh shit. And then they kind of recover it. But it goes into also, I really hope, I guess also in particular, Sammy has now technically had a better title run than Miro of competition. Is it worth competition? No. But I'm more interested to see what Sammy's next opponent, like maybe get like how Miro had a storyline at the end of his title run. Like he had like the whole chink in the armor with Eddie, and then also like this whole Fuego. That's not good when Fuego is the biggest storyline of Miro's title run, about being manhandled, get a contract, get a car, sell it or lose the car, and then
2021 Escalade, fully decked
yeah,
out.
and then you have your friend buy you a new a $40,000 truck for your after you lost your $100,000 Tesla.
And why is Fuego with Guevara? I mean, is he Guevara's stooge now? I mean,
It's his friend.
but who cares? I think that's just it. I think that the one thing I used to always say with AEW that was kind of critical was everybody has to get their friends a job in this company. A lot of people have said that, hey, Brandon Cutler, I like him. Let's have him spray cold spray on me. Or Omega. Who's the guy with Omega? Is it
Mike, yeah, Michael Nagato.
Nagazawa or
Yeah, Nagazawa.
else? Yeah, I like him. Let's have him carry a laptop. Or this guy Wheeler Utan, he's pretty good. Trent's gone. He'll just stand with us. They have so many, and now it's like Fuego is Sammy's. I'm just gonna stand with you, and I'm gonna run down every once in a while, but I won't do anything. I'll just get hit, but I'll be your buddy who tries to help you. And it's like, why have him turn on Sammy? Say you bought my car. The car Tony got me was better, and you didn't buy me a new Lexus or something. I mean, it's just. I personally, though, I think those two would have a good match. I think you'd have a better match with Fuego than you do with Bobby Fish.
Maybe, yeah. I with the Cutler and the Nagazawa, I think it involves. How would I word it? I don't want to because if Tony is watching, I'm not trying to make you think about there's people behind you wasting your money. But I know Cutler and Nagazawa were like day one guys. They were just filling up rosters until they get better people. Because like Brian Cutler, I think I remember like a couple of the first announcements like, yeah, he hasn't wrestled, blah, blah, blah. He just came out because of All Elite, blah, blah, blah. And then I guess he never wanted to try to go past a D20 role before your fucking match to try to do any other gimmick besides the idea that they did have a little dark storyline. Like he's trying to get his first win. And then Nagazawa is another guy. He's another gimmick guy who did the whole baby oil shit.
I like that gimmick, actually. I thought it was pretty funny. I'd like to see him do it again instead of just fucking standing there.
Right. And but I'm trying to get to is like, sometimes I feel like, did these guys get the job and now they're like rooted into the show? Like, oh, and like Tony's like worried about every other person, and they like, oh yeah, Cutler and Mike still gets a check just to spray air and hold a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I get into that because after like this after Kenny drops the belt, I'm assuming he's going to go back to more classic Kenny. There's no more showboats. There's no more entourage. I'm just curious what's going to lead to them, like with those guys. They're going to go back to being wrestlers for the AEW Dark. That's the curious part.
Yeah, I'll reiterate. I didn't like the match. I didn't care about it. I had no reason to care about it. It just, people are saying here. I'm reading a couple of comments. Solid match, great moments. I don't know. I like Sammy. I didn't care about the match, and I thought the match after it, to be honest with you, was even dumber. It was that Chewbacca. What is his name? Corrado. No, Corrado's Junior Soprano. Nick Camacho.
Okay.
The hairy fucking guy. He's fighting Darby Allin. Okay.
The foundation guy.
Yeah. This hairy bastard with now they put him up. He should have been the big heel. QT does the turn on Cody, and now QT is in the land of jobbers, and this guy can't win any matches. At first they put him like, oh, this guy's a monster. Dustin, he's taken out the Nightmare family. Dustin beats him in a bull rope match, and this guy's lost ever since. They put him in the ring with my man, 160 pounds, soaking wet Darby Allin. Darby Allin is like the Roadrunner and the Coyote. Darby Allin ran circles around him. He beats him. QT comes in, hits Sting with the cutter. Sting just hulks up on him, drops QT. I have never seen QT's turn on Cody. It led to nothing. It made him, QT is a jobber, and his gang is jobbers. And once again, wouldn't it have made more sense for Darby to have fought, say, Sean Spears, one of the FTR, a Wardlow? If they're pushing this thing with him and MJF, which they push later in the show, but why wouldn't he have a match with like one of these guys affiliated? Why would it be a one-off against Nick Camarado? That I mean, in real life, that fight would have been 2 seconds long.
Right. No, when you put that into on the light, yes, I didn't even think. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like this is the one after this. They had the stupid what's the word? The He got mugged at the end with all the masked man because they're in Philadelphia because that happens.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, but I mean, but then why did he have a match? And so what? Sting doesn't. Where was Sting? They travel separately.
Yeah. Well, Sting
out.
travels through the store like snow wind. He doesn't travel regular like normal people. No, the thing about also a QT Marshall, I think having this roads to the top has really definitely put some light of like it goes into that. Oh, you guys getting checks because you're friends. So you have QT Marshall. Marshall is coaching some of the younger people through the Nightmares like wrestling school, and you have a guy who said rest and on the road to the top is saying wrestling's kind of like a climax, like sex. And when the heel or when the face wins, that's when the female climaxes, and then the when the heel is I'm like, what are you saying? Like, why are you saying this in this year? Why are you now saying this? Just shut up.
Yeah, I mean, QT's a good
It's not,
but I don't know.
and it goes into like the idea of like, I know these are older recordings, but the idea of like, then you see like having Ricky Starks as a coach because he had a bum neck at that moment in time. Like, who are your coaches? That's why we're having rough AEW match. You need some like where's the part when we're going to see that? Oh yeah, that's why we have Dean Malenko in the background to help explain some shit. Oh no, nope. We're gonna have QT and Ricky Starks fucking teach some like Lee Johnson off camera. I'm like, what are you doing?
When you have guys like you said, you have Malenko, you have Jerry Lynn. Who else? I mean, and even if you got Dustin,
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many guys. Billy Gunn. I mean, but no, let's get let's get the guy who can't talk. What's next? Ricky Stark's gonna be teaching promo class. Taz could be showing these guys how to do promos. I mean, they have enough older talent there, but yeah, like I like QT, but I wouldn't want to be coached by him, not when I have all that other talent there.
They need to flip it. They need to, because I see like it seems like Dustin, like we said, Jerry Lynn, uh, Dean, they all are like at the show coaches. No, you need it if you want some like the hens of the chicken house. Have QT and Ricky Starks be at the show, being like the stage hens, but like have them be the actual people that are going like, oh, you're going to see Dean, Jerry Lynn, and Dustin 3 days a week off campus. That's where you should, but it's, and then that Taz should be maybe give a little bit more money or something to make him do it. But like, he should be doing some real like help with like promo, like intensity. Don't even have to help script people. The idea of like, yeah, you're going to bring this up and you're going to do it like this, bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, because Taz can. His best attribute. I mean, he's a good judo guy, good suplexes, but he could talk. He can still talk. He proves that when he commentates, and just make him a commentator, make him a coach. The Team Taz thing. I mean, he Rampage. Not to jump in. The main event is Team Taz. Taz is not down there with him in Philadelphia. He's on the announcer's booth. The angle. Know when to throw your angle away. Know when to get rid of it. Either give him new people or just drop it. Let him just be an announcer. Every once in a while he says something, maybe to further an angle, but the whole coach team thing, it doesn't work.
Did you see the special online thing about Tony Khan came out and they did a little special little close out, and they actually had Taz come back out and Jericho and
The blue meanie.
CM Punk came out and said, "I was the ECW champ too." And
Yeah,
then,
he was the champ when it was a WWE ECW. I would have booed him out of the fucking building.
but no, just I don't know. It just there are some things that they need to just either how do I word it? Maybe not call it Team Taz. Maybe just switch it to just FTW, the FTW team. Make Taz kind of remove himself, but also he lost his belt. Taz lost his belt, and then Ricky Starks kind of they just turn on each other. Even his own son Hook is like, "Fuck you, Dad." Like that idea. Probably doesn't even talk. He's going like this. He goes,
is Hook now? See, here we go. We're going to getting. If I worked there, I tried to get my son a job. Hook has been there since it opened. Hook has never talked. The most Hook has ever done was put Punk in a dragon sleeper. Hook has never done shit. He didn't even bump. I mean,
he took a clothesline this Rampage.
why are you giving him a check? See, now you free up this money and you bring RTE in to help you book or to announce on some of these other shows, then I guarantee you the two of us together ain't gonna cost as much as some of these guys.
I'm very cheap.
I am too. I'm a whore. I mean, come on,
he lives in Nebraska, which is very doesn't cost that much.
No, I can drive to Chicago.
Yeah, I live in a very cheap spot, Michigan. That's still kind of expensive, but I'm very, I'm cheap.
Yeah, I mean, I will handle my own transportation if you make it worth my while. I mean, but there's so many guys they could dump and we could just come in there. We're booking the shows anyway for free. And again, we're booking them for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Tony.
I like Darby. I like the whole never say die underdog kind of thing, but he's not an underdog anymore. He's not losing. He's not going to do a job. And anyone that thought he was going to lose to Nick Camarano, it's just stupid. It was you got this big monster and he's just jobbing out. QT hits this thing. And I'm going to tell you what, the crowd now the opener they were into, but the crowd and Philadelphia crowds are loud, but they're heels, but it kept going. It wasn't built up this week. It was like it kept going down, and it was down for this match. And some people really like it though.
Who?
I don't know. Internet nerds.
They don't count.
No, they don't.
Because I listen, because that's what I've been doing. I've been listening to the crowd now because of you addressing it. And I'm thinking like sometimes they just sound like white noise. It doesn't even sound like they're happy or they just go. But it's not. It sounds like old PlayStation 2 fans just going there.
That crowd.
They need to fix it up.
That was the Arn promo next. The highlight of the show.
Yeah, the best spot. Yes.
You see this fire outside Cody's house, and it's Arn. He's just burning shit and
in a dump like a hobo fucking can of fire. Not like I found your spot you do.
Yeah, he's just by that book. Cody's like, Arn, what do you come here to shoot me? Come on down here. Take off that tie. Arn, this is I like how Cody's going, no, give me a tie. They should have just had him burned to where he was in his underwear or something. That'd have been even funnier. But because I'm sitting there looking at first, I look at my kid, I was like, it's the middle of the night. What the fuck's he doing wearing a 3-piece suit in his own house? It was kind of weird, but put that star on your face. But then he said everything you did. People don't care, Cody. You're going to do the Gong show, the reality shows. You're going to do the judging here. He stole your promo.
Yeah. Like, you coming in to go do all this and then you come back and think you're going to win. Like, you suck it. But that smack should have been a gun to his throat and said, why don't you put a star on your face again? Put
the tie in there. That's a nice. I said, put the tie in there and then pull out the guard. He should have just at least went like that to his head, but he needs to carry a goddamn gun.
He needs to do what you put. I think you did the picture. It needs to be that trench coat, a straight up death wish, and him just walking around and like just looking. He could be looking for Malachi by himself, but like with a gun, and just have the mysticism happen, like turn to black. Oh, he missed. He's not there no more.
Or he's just Tony. He needs a title shot. Get his momentum back. Well, when he lost, he said never chance for time. Sign the paper now, Tony, and pull out the gun.
Set on the desk. I need you to sign this.
They open up like a briefcase and just take the gun out and set it
Yeah.
out.
Pulp Fiction style, like the lights, like that. Oh, Tony, hire us.
How over would that be if Arn started pulling a gun on people?
And like I said, have it be, you can make the gun green, you can make the gun have a big bright orange tip, and like it'd be all orange tip and it could be a lighter, so that you don't get no backlash from blah blah blah.
Bang, and the little thing comes down, like
yeah. You could make Arn Anderson look like the Joker with that bang gun, or whatever you want. But I think even if you wanted to stick to the gimmick, just get a green water gun. But he just has a gun, and he's like, "Listen here, bud," and like people's like, "Whoa, I don't want to get shot." Like it's just a little like that gun. It would be over, and then have him walk around looking like Death Wish, go across the board, like because obviously they have the face wheel or entrance and the heel entrance. Have him just walk through, and have him just like that, and then walk back out. People were like, "This Arn's got the gun."
Have the heels are just running out like it's gonna be a mass murder or something. But look at the money. Look at the shirts. They make their shirt company. How many armed Anderson shirts could you make? You could make so many shirts. Then you could sell plastic guns with like maybe a 2 A's on it or something like that.
It's a green AA gun.
I'd buy one.
It would have, that'd be a good way to use the foundation right now. Have the foundation run from one entrance to the other entrance, and then Orange just has a piece of paper showing Malachi's face and just looking around and just freaking the fuck out of all the heels. That'd be,
your vignettes. He could be at a hunting or a gun range. He put up the picture of Malachi Black on the thing, and you see it's like all a perfect circle on the head or something like that. And
there's also another way because of that House of Black shirt I have the face and then have him shoot it one time and then let the thing ooze out black just to freak it out. And then Tony,
come on,
I'm cheap. I gave you that for free. Think about if I was on the payroll.
I think like if you have these guys like it's like Nick Camarado, you're not cutting it. We're gonna let your contract go. Then just have the vignette where he's sitting there in Arn. We need to talk. Pulls out the gun, and Nick Camarado's never seen from again. That's how you can write people off. He's killing them.
I just think there's some ways to put this could work. And I think I've always thought, I don't know how WWE does it. They probably have people that are in the offices, but I always feel there should be somebody outside. Like we could be like remote people that watch the show at home and say, okay, and then we could be the one addressing, hey, you do need to add up more miking to the fans, blah, 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 because it just sounds like white noise when you're trying to make a decision on if was this a good move or bad move, or trying to explain to the TV. And then also just have we come in and be like the story auditors. All right, this ain't working because of this. And we also have a new idea. Just see how it works on TV. You can even, because I think I know YouTube gave him the backlash for like that acclaim rap. But the idea of just,
there's your way to try it.
Yeah. And just have, like I said, have Arn. I think Arn being Death Wish, walking around the streets, see only because she has been used as like a victim idea, but have that girl from the Varsity Blondes be like, look like she's about to get mugged from a heel group, and then just Arn come out of nowhere, squirt them all. It's like cats, treat them all like cats with a water gun.
Or you see it, and I'll tell you, when you see the limo and you hear like this screaming, and Arn and Cody, and we'll get Darby in there, and they just happen to be there, and they run to the back, and there's Julie Hart, and she's laying there, and her dress is ripped.
Whoa, Jesus.
And everything, and the limo peels away, and Arn looks down and he picks up and it's MJF's ring, and he just pulls out that gun, and I'd see there you go. I mean that would never work. That I mean it wouldn't fly on TV, but that would be awesome. You got to have her falling out of the limo, ripped up and everything. You have to insinuate everything, but man,
You went too far. I think the cats thing could work on YouTube and TV. Have all the heels act like cats when like the water gun like that shit. That'd be funny. But but yeah, that was it's not good when a dumpster fire with an old man slapping Cody Rhodes is the highlight of the show.
because then they follow, and I kept saying the crowd's going down, down, down. Up next, I got to read the names. It was that Serena Deeb against Hiroku Shida, who was somehow she was going for her 50th win, even though I've seen this bitch lose about 10 times. The whole thing to get this, I don't know, diamond cutter, maybe Paige, bang, maybe
Yeah.
made it, but and then she still loses. She doesn't get it, and the other girl hits her in the head. So it was kind of like, oh, wow, she didn't win. But match was. I say it again. I don't care. They're getting better women there. They really are, but still, I don't care for the women's matches as much over here. And this one was just, to me, it was boring. It was long. I'm looking up to see if I can get a time. It seemed long. Once again, though, people love it. They're giving it here. It got an A. I didn't care for it. I didn't like it at all.
I didn't mind it. I think also I understand what you're saying in the sense of like with Sheeta, which I think it's not fair that you are highlighting just her 10 losses when the idea that she was like the longest reigning women's champ. So, there's a lot of wins there. But I was not, not like that. After the results of the match where she lost, I'm like, oh, they really did just a straight up look like she's going to win, flip flop, surprise she didn't. And then to me, that made me feel like, I'm like, oh, fuck, they're going to stretch out just trying to get 50 wins in the women's title, the thing this long now. Because I was, Sheeta's either going to have to win her next one just to get this shit over with. But last time I checked, I mean, she's not, I didn't see there's no other match for her on next Rampage. She's not on next Dynamite. It doesn't look like. I could be wrong on that one, but I just looked at it real quick. I'm like, I don't think I remember seeing Sheeta. So you have Serena D or whatever her name is, do like a heel move, and there's not going to be no results to this in the next week, especially since Miami, like, people like Sheeta. I like Sheeta. I like the idea of like, but the match was all right because they just did like we're going to do the greatest hits. Hey, Sheeta, pull out your chair, set it down, do your little, and then come up and jump and do your knee and all that shit. All right. Serena apparently is the female D Malenko, woman of 1,000 holds. And then let's get some of those holds down. And then the best part was obviously, okay, Sheeta, you lost. We were, you're going to be the first girl to get 50 wins, blah, blah, blah. They even said it. Jungle Boy got it. And like that, now we're going to have her hold on to this 50 win, have to run up to the 50 thing. I think it's a little bad writing or like cheap writing. Cheap writing. That's the words. A little cheap.
We would have wrote it.
Because like, it would be she already had 50 wins by then. But
I wouldn't have booked her.
Well, that I'll stick to I'll do the women's.
I'll book my Julie Ford assault angle instead. Julie Hart, I'm sorry.
Julie Hart, I need you to look like a victim. No, Jesus. But was it after this match they showed the TBS belt, or was it before?
I think it was either right before, because there's two other segments we got to mention, but yeah, I was mad at that. Like the belt I thought looked neat because I mean everybody knew they were going to do a TBS belt. I think that was obvious, but it's like everybody here's in a game. Where's your trios belt? I haven't had a 6-man belt in, oh my God, since I was a little kid. Yeah. That would be a nice idea. I'm sorry, Lucha Underground had it. Maybe an intercontinental title or something. United States, something. But no, they get another title for the women. What was it? What was the deal like? Oh, we promised Ruby Soho a belt, but we can't take it off Britt. I
I,
mean,
I think you're, well, one, I could be wrong on this, but did you see that the TBS is shaped like it basically says hose?
uh-uh.
If you either somebody edited it so that it looked like a lowercase t or it's a capital T. I could be wrong, but I saw real quick. Did they just but the TBS is connected enough to make it look like it says hose.
Nice.
But but I think it's
Arn
really
should have
cool.
shot that belt.
Huh?
Arn should have came out and shot that belt and demanded
I
something else.
I think it's kind of cool that they're the first. Not, I don't want to say that because I don't know, but having a very highlighted promotion have like a mid card women's belt is cool. Should there be a 6-man thing first? Maybe, or the idea of like this idea: you have multiple fucking referees, have a bunch of them come out and say, "Look at all these belts we're going to make starting in January, triple or 6-man," and then have Aubrey hold the fucking women's one. Have another one. Have
TNT tag titles.
that too.
There's
Yeah.
75 fucking tag teams there.
You could have a 6-man and a TNT because obviously Rampage is staying on TNT, Dynamite's going to TBS. And like it will spread the brand out, get people chase whatever. Oh, you want to come to this show? Blah blah blah. Even though you're on, you're recording it at the same fucking day. But the idea of it just it helps. It helps everybody. And also I think with title belts and more, and then it gives, I bet money a lot of your roster won't feel like they should go do Forbidden Door, go do indie promos to feel like I need to make some extra cash, even though I'm on the best fucking wrestling franchise out there. Cause I don't understand like the idea of like, even like this, Moxley's GCW champ. Why? In the sense of he is a made man. You know what I mean? I know this one is going to sound dumb because you don't care about the women part, but the idea of like you have Big Swole running a gimmick against Diamante through fucking 3 months, and now she's a champ at some bar promote, whatever. It could be a bar promotion, whatever. But she probably wouldn't have to do that if they because they did a pretty good. I like that recorded match when they did the fight at Britt Baker's office.
That was a good match where she was like,
yeah,
and using the Novocaine and everything. No, I like that. That was and that was good because Britt was she still stunk at the
building,
time.
yes. And then the idea of like Big Swole has a good ring presence. She obviously can make the work because she had just how the team or the song goes, Swole, and everyone's like, woohoo, good old time. Like she could have been a person at the front. You don't have to switch to Jade Cargill because you only can have one black girl or something, whatever. Like, Red Velvet was the flavor of the month one week, and then now we're like Jade Cargill's been the stagnant because the TBS belt also has a blue little band. I'm like, wow, that looks kind of like Jade Cargill's outfit that she usually wears. I wonder who's going to be the first champ.
Ruby Soho.
Jade.
Well, we'll have to see.
I think Ruby's going to be still in that women's top roster. Jade is definitely going to be. Look at her. She's being a female Miro right now. She's undefeated. So it's too, they're like some of their writing is too on the head. And I don't know if it's because I like Tony, but I don't know if he's too much of a fan to like someone could sell him a bottle of water if you say it right. It's like, water, that sounds awesome. You need it. Like that idea. Just, I don't know who is doing the final decisions if he's not being too positive or just too thrilled to whoever's selling it to him. That's all.
And we missed 2 other segments before the main event. We had our usual CM Punk. Are you guys getting tired of hearing me talk yet? I almost yelled, fuck yeah, but I knew they weren't hearing. And who some reason then edit them Daniel Garcia. And Daniel Garcia, what the fuck? Does this guy
Yeah.
have pictures? Does 2.0 and Garcia, they have pictures of people? How do they keep getting on TV? What the fuck? They get the briefcase with negatives or I know Punk always said I want to work with the young cats and all that. It's like, motherfucker, number one, shut up. Your promos stink. And number two, I don't want to see. Yeah, I want to see where the young cat named Jungle Boy, young cat named Brian Cage. I don't want to see you work with jobbers. It's you're not now had Daniel Garcia, which we're getting ahead of ourselves. How that name got thrown out, I don't know. Had Daniel Garcia beaten him, that's great. But Punk's just beating all these people. It's doing nothing. It's doing nothing for the people that he's beating, and two, it's doing nothing for him. I mean, I'm really waiting for people to start going like, this Punk just really isn't that good. I'm waiting for the what do you call it, the novelty to wear off of him. It wore off for me already. Wore off for me like the third week.
They're waiting for the other foot to fall, the other shoe to fall. But he's wrestling a young cat like Daniel Garcia, which I didn't know this until I start seeing like he's done other job matches against like even like that Suzuki and all this shit going on. I'm like, okay, I don't know what people see in this guy yet. But also I give him young. I know CM Punk's going to do a really young guy next week, Matt Seidel. Oh no, just some old flippity guy. You're gonna have a flippity guy against CM Punk who is gassed out, and again, it's early for the Rampage talk, but the idea that he did that spot and 2.0 missed him, he fell to the ground.
And when fucking was, I don't know if it was Taz or Jericho, whichever one went, CM Punk got a mixed martial arts background. It's like don't bring that up. That embarrassing.
Yeah.
And as long as you had the mixed martial arts, you had to bring in. We forgot after Sammy's match. Here comes Dan Lambert with the Men of the Year, Junior Dos Santos, that super hot girl, jumping them. And Fuego. I remember when Fuego came down, I was like, where the fuck is the inner circle? So finally, Hager and Jericho come down. After this guy's been beat to death for 10 minutes, they run down, they challenge. And I noticed one thing. I said how Lambert's promos were pretty good. They're written. They're clearly written because if you notice, he's memorized them. Go ahead. And Jim Cornette even picked up on. He's like, he's not taking pauses. He's not taking breaks. He's not waiting for the. He's just reading something that he memorized, and it's kind of. And once again, and I'm gonna have Jorge Masvidal. He's gonna be in the corner. He's gonna be my bodyguard. It's like, shut up. Come on.
He also again goes in that botch thing in Philly or something like Jericho's mic didn't fucking work, and then which opened up the idea that so that people can see that he is already recorded because he obviously not recorded, pre-scripted. Because he just started going off again. I'm like, and helping. He was helping, but also I'm like, no. It just I don't know.
I like when the crowd was singing Judas. He's like, yeah, come on, let's go, get it out of your system. Shut up already. But he wasn't like taking any breaks. He's like, yeah, come on, let's go, get it out of your system. It's like that's when I kind of figured out. I was like, okay, this is written for the guy. Is the guy supposed to be Jim Cornette?
Is he?
Because that's the kind of stuff Cornette would say if he was over there. Did they offer Cornette a gig and he was like, fuck you, and they just figured they'd get this schmuck to play the part of what would have been written for Cornette?
I don't
kind of makes sense.
I think doesn't Cornette have problems with majority of the roster? I think he has
problems with everybody.
I don't think he's going to be invited over there, but yeah.
No, I would, if I had a company, I'd hire Cornette in a heartbeat. So he's got some old school ideas, big deal. He do a combination. Everything's old school. You just have to recycle it.
He probably help with some of the more ground and pound people like FTR and stuff.
Oh, he'd be a good manager. Nothing against Tully. He don't talk. And coming to Tully, the last angle before the main event, Darby has his skateboard. So clearly Darby, when he wrecked his car years ago, that had his face painted on it, he doesn't have a car now. So he's going to skateboard back to Wisconsin without Sting. And, the limo pulls up and you can smell this coming a mile away. He gets hit from the back. All these guys are in masks. You know who they are? Even the announcers do. That's Wardlow. That's the FTR. Then MJ's in his suit, the ring and everything, which I always thought was kind of funny. They beat him up, they throw him into some railings, put the skateboard on his neck. This is after he said he'd fight MJF next week. And then they announced later that even though he'd been thrown down the steps and everything previously in angles, boy, getting hit with that skateboard, nope, that's too
Yeah.
much. Is now he can't fight next week. And the limo pulls off. Limo should have pulled off, dumped Julie Hart out of it. So I came up
Jesus
running,
Christ.
but it didn't, So it was that was old school. That's some old four horsemen shit, getting out of the limo and masked and all that. I've seen all that before in the fucking early 80s when they did it to Dusty, but I mean, it kind of worked. I don't get why they were masked, man. I mean, just so they couldn't, maybe what are they afraid? The one time in wrestling history, someone would press charges for assault. I didn't get it.
I
That's just a joke.
I don't also understand. It goes into the cheap writing of why is JR talking to every single MGF victim? Hey, Brian Pillman. He talked about your methed up mother. Can you believe that? And then, hey, Darby, he talked about your drunk dead uncle. Can you believe that? Like, it just gets into like, why are you doing the same? Like, that's a real, like, that was recently repeated in the idea of, like you said, I do think it's funny that a kid who has been filmed for CM Punk's matches, jumping out of helicopters into water, jumping off of bridges, it is going to get hit with a skateboard while he's pushing towards a closed door. He's not even like he's leaving the garage. He's just going to a corner to get his ass whooped, is going to feel he's got knocked down after that he is a thrill person jumping off bridges and the helicopter, like I said.
And he has a whole week to recover. It wasn't like his match was next.
Yeah. It's not like he had to go to Rampage next in a couple days.
I just figured out how to get Brian Pillman Jr. over. See, now my mic might drop. You got a guy sitting here like this, and he's sitting on the corner, and people are coming up to him, and he's like handing them little baggies. This is the drug dealer. And then all at once, here comes Brian Pillman Jr. and Arn. Now Arn's with him. And Arn's like, what you got there? And the guy's like, he's selling the meth. He used to sell the drugs.
He's selling smack to the community.
Yeah, he's selling it. He acts as the guy that sold it to this kid's mom.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Arn's just like, your last customer. And he pulls out the gun and shoots him and get rid of the body or whatever. And then there you go. Now they've avenged the death of this guy's mom for this guy that sold her bad smack. Pillman Jr.'s over. He's with Arn. He's dumping a body. Fuck.
Now,
Don't get no better.
Now I will agree on the idea if Pillman and the Varsity Blondes but with Phil Pillman wanted to merge with Arn, and Pillman goes, I know how to use a gun too. It gives the people the flashback with his daddy. That would be
9mm.
Yeah, now that would sell. And they both can have squirt guns. Whatever. Because even with the meth thing, and then the meth guy acts like a cat, goes like, I quit. Good.
Like, blam, 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 and you see feet picking up.
I get that, but obviously we gotta be on the TV. So even like he goes to squirt, and then he squirts the product and makes just water, makes a meth shake, and then he goes down the toilet. Well, and then like that would be, it would sell, I think. And then having a picture of Arn and Pillman together back to back with a gun on a shirt, that would sell.
It would.
But yeah. This is like a B- C+ show.
No, now the main was hot. The main was the casino ladder match, which it was obvious the Joker was going to win. We said that last week because everybody involved in this match is in a feud with somebody. And none of them are in high profile feuds. None of them are in the fucking title picture. So the exact words were, it's going to be Hangman Page, which it was, or it's going to be Bryan Danielson. And that's how they're going to get the belt back. I'm glad Adam Page finally showed up to work.
Yep.
But my complaint with this match was, and it was a really good match, but was the commercial breaks. Like they go to commercial as Lance Archer's finally coming out. Jake the Snake's finally back with them. It's like I got fucking Arby's chicken sandwich commercial here, real big, and I got a little thing of Jake the Snake coming. It was time bad, but Orange Cassidy was great. You know, he kept doing that hands in the pocket gimmick, and you know the opponents kept getting mad at him, and Hardy was even doing some of the old, you know, the Jeff Hardy like references in this match. It was really good.
Jeff should go to the Hardy compound and go smack Matt to look like he do his move off like a 6-foot ladder and look like he got hurt compared to Jeff who does 30-foot ladders and then go straight down. Because I thought that was funny. I saw, I'm like, why is Matt and like he's like, I'm like, you're barely above the railing. Like, and then your brother's tossing in a grave right now like this. God damn it, I've been up 25 feet and go straight on my back. How dare you?
I mean, it was good. I mean, these guys were bumping. They were killing each other. Orange Pac was taking some hellacious fucking shots in that match. Andrade, who I'm not overly, think he's the greatest. God, he was pulling off amazing moves. The whole thing was just good. And when Hangman Page, because the Joker's always last, that place exploded.
Yeah.
And they kind of tricked me. At one point, I thought when he went flying out of the ring, it was like, they bring this fucker back, he's gonna lose. And then Moxley somehow must have fucking, I don't know, during commercial break, did somebody take the grease from the Hardy's chicken sandwich and put it on the ladder? Because Moxley just all of a sudden whoops and he falls off, letting Page to grab the point. It was like he just fell. What the fuck,
Because they did that old gimmick of like we're going to punch so hard, and then he's like and fall down. Like it worked a little bit but like it goes into that idea of, I know that if let's say they even the writing room knows, man, we've been writing some cheap shit. Thank God Adam's back, so we can go back to our real money script. But for me, I'm like, so you gave your fans 6 weeks of, and then to Daniel Bryan, because that was, I forgot about that. In the first match, since they didn't have no intros, they showed Kenny Omega pull up the belt, and then it goes, woo! And then they go, Jurassic Express. Christian did this. Not a word.
Nothing.
It was like, get that shit out of here. Even like this.
Looking for a fan in that crowd, and somebody's got to be cheering me. What the,
But back to the ladder match, it goes in. So okay, because we talked about off show, you're like, yep, they're going to straight to Full Gear with this gimmick. I'm like, so they're just going to, I think, are they going to just drop the whole Daniel Bryan? And they apparently are. They have Daniel Bryan going against Bobby Fish next week. They're like, elite who? Kenny does have balls. I didn't say that. No one else said that. Like, I just don't. That's where I'm like, you were giving us some kind of story, and there was something there. The Kenny no ball thing could have got you something. You gave us a great time limit match.
Yeah,
great match. And you're just going to brush it off because you want to go back to the storyline. You could just do Full Gear and then have Adam Page be the Revolution face, which is only in January or either January or February. But the idea of you have a way to do it, and then you don't have to drop what you've been working on to go back to the bottom of building up a story again.
Because I don't want to do a 3-way dance with those three. That's a waste. But you know what? The real bad thing would be if they have the Full Gear match and Kenny beats Hangman Page. If he lost, that would be terrible. Because
he better not.
For 2 years, it's been built that this is our guy. I still say he's going to kick out of the One Wing Angel. He's going to do that. But yeah, is maybe now they, and I think if they booked Adam Cole against Danielson, I think that would be bad because Cole's going to get he's going to be cheered. He's going to be over. It ain't going to be Dana Bryanson, Brian Daniels, whatever, the fucking narc. Arn should shoot him.
I again, it goes into there are ways to keep building, and then at but again, it goes into the whole idea of like, does Kenny want to keep on holding this belt till Revolution? I think it'll be pretty hard. He's been not saying about injury, but the idea of like you can only pin Jungle Boy till January for so long, since no one, you can't one ring angel your opponent until Revolution or Full Gear. It just, I'm like, I just feel cheated in the sense of like, you've been giving, like, you gave us, you had broken toys, but you made us something out of it. And now your real good toy is back and he has a chip to go straight to the top. But you were building something that I was like, okay, I want to hear at least the like resolve it. You don't, a lot of AEW storylines sometimes just stop.
Yeah.
There's no resolution.
The whole QT Marshall turning on the Nightmare Factory, that just a lot of stuff fizzles, but they better not fizzle out Arn with the gun. That's endless.
I hope he needs to talk about the gun next week. Just like roll up.
What was the highlight of this show? It was a promo with, like you said, an old man burning trash and a fucking homeless fucking heater in front of Cody's house. That was the highlight of a 2-hour program. The opening match was good. The ladder match was good. The two bookends were great. Everything in the middle was garbage, I thought. I really didn't like it.
Yeah. Like, and then I bet money that ladder match, just because you're an Adam Page fan. Because also, I agree, like, you want to see the real results of like the real storyline they want.
Yeah, and I like Orange, but not knowing he's going to win. But yeah, my guys were in and I like ladder matches. They're just bump fest. They had all the right guys in there.
Yeah, I just think again, B minus C plus. Yeah, it was just
was not a hot show, and it led us into the next 10 minutes or the next 2 days later, Rampage. They broke the four. There were 4 matches this week on Rampage. They had guy, girl, guy. But it opened with what was the Rampage opener?
CM Punk.
CM Punk, yep, against Daniel Garcia. Long match. And I mean, it's probably like 10, 12 minutes.
Too long.
About 8 minutes longer than it needs to be. The crowd likes Punk. They don't care about Daniel Garcia. And once again, I did like when they open hot though, because you got Mark Henry opening. The time for talking is done. And I did like how CM Punk referenced that they look like the Nasty Boys' little brothers in those little vests that they had on. I thought that was good. But essentially, this heel group that they want to be a top heel group that loses every single week, Punk just basically beat all 3 of them. And he botched about 5 fucking moves. Garcia botched about 3. There's a lot of botches in the match. And at the end of the day, it was at the end of the you got to see the Pepsi plunge, the Anaconda Vice, you'd see go to sleep and all that. But Punk won. It did nothing for Daniel Garcia.
No. And then again, it goes into that it has to be about being friends, because 2.0 is like being the elite champs. Like they have a belt on the YouTube, like they're being the elite thing. I have no idea what that is, but just like the idea
being the elite, I watch recapping the elite.
Yeah, I watch.
I hope people get us confused because they get millions of hits.
I hope so too. But the idea of, I just don't get it. And then also, like you said, T 2.0 is Team Rocket of AEW. They're just blasting off and losing every week. But I do, like you said, I was glad to see they switched up their formula. They even started with Mark Henry, and they did end with Mark Henry. Mark Henry did have a whole promo with Ricky Starks and Brian Cage.
That match was terrible. The next
But
match was good. It was the Acclaimed
yeah,
against the Lucha Brothers. And forgive me, I wish I knew. Even the Acclaim referenced a gun like Arn Anderson in his rap.
they need to. They just you gotta let it slide. Like again, uh the past couple of weeks, the movie that's been on before AEW has been The Equalizer. So Denzel shooting people.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one was Law Abiding Citizen, which is a very fucked up idea of Gerard Butler killing a whole thing. Bring the gun. We need the gun in AEW. And that gun would be over the majority of the roster. Just it could be called, he could be have his own roster of like wins. Smith and Weston has 13-1 compared to
I rewrote Death Wish with Art Anderson. I handed you the script.
yeah, it could work, but there was some. I don't. Again, I think maybe it's because CM Punk. I don't care about him.
No, I don't either. I don't.
And then the whole Anaconda, whatever his fucking move he does.
Device.
I'm watching him like Daniel Garcia could just chop him the neck and we could just continue this match. There's a moment Daniel Garcia goes, and he could have gone, gotcha. And then we'll go back into the match. Like you should not finish with that.
No, and I really do think, and people are going to get mad because people love Punk. Punk in Ring of Honor was good. That was 20 something years ago. People get older. You know, was he good in WWE? No, his promos were good because they just let him bitch and complain. So he's not doing that now because he's a panderer. But as far as in the ring, it was like, oh, look at, he works circles around Ryback. Whoop-a-de-doo, Ryback. Oh, he works circles around John Cena. What Cena got? The 5 moves of doom or whatever. Oh, him and the Undertaker. He worked circles around the Undertaker. Already an old man when you fought him. Show me CM Punk work circles around Phoenix, around Pentagon, around Daniel Bryanson, around Adam Cole. You show him work circles around these guys to me, and I'll be impressed. Right now, I mean, in all honesty, I'm watching just a typical 80s slow match when I see him. I see nothing special, and I think his interviews, he's a natural heel. Look at him. He looks like a douchebag. Just make him a bad guy. Who cares if Adam Cole's a bad guy, people cheer him. Who cares? It's going to happen. Make CM Punk be a bad guy. If he's truly that good, he could cut a promo and he could have everybody turn on him. But he's a natural heel. I mean, just let him be a bad guy.
He would be passed out if he had to do a match to any degree of go against Jungle Boy, how the Elite had to do today or this week or any week with even just the whole idea of holding hand and then doing all the fucking rope moves that Jungle Boy does. CM Punk would be passed out. And again, that goes into just getting back in the ring, getting your stamina back, whatever. But the idea of like, I'll stick to a Rampage without CM Punk. You don't need CM Punk to keep me in my seat if you came to Detroit. You don't need CM Punk to even come out 2 days before to say, you guys love me still?
Yeah, you don't know, you're overkilling him by doing that.
Yeah. And like, I wish, and also maybe more a personal thing, he needs to dye his fucking beard. He's starting to look like he looked like an old fucking man going on. I'm ready. It's clobbering time.
100%. Like, I color my beard. If I grew up my hair, I'd be coloring it too because it's gray. Clearly, he's coloring his hair because that hair is jet black as shit. Yet his beard, I mean, if he colored his beard, he'd look young. I look 20 years younger when I color my beard. I tried to bleach this blonde the other day. That didn't work. I need to get some actual bleach for it. But yeah, no, I agree. He does need to color it. It looks just for men. 5-minute application, Punk. I'll send you a box. I got a bunch of it here.
Because it just looks like it makes you look like you've been out of the ring way too long. You just look a little rough.
Like last night on GCW, the Briscoe brothers came down. And they're older. No, not they would have been better. You know, the Ring of Honor guys, Briscoe tag team,
Yeah,
they came
Briscoes.
down and they haven't colored their beards fair. And they got these big, massive beards. They're 90% gray. And even my son was like, "Who are these two old fucking homeless people?" You know, they look like 70-year-old men. It's like,
That's their
color your
gimmick.
shit. Yeah, but still, you know, that's Punk does.
Red redneck kung fu.
I mean, they had to stare down. I mean, it was crowd pop for him, but yeah, like you said, in Punk's case, he's wearing the skinny jeans, he's wearing the fucking Nikes, which nice that he gave to the Orange Cassidy kid out there. Just color your beard. You're dressing like a young man, but and you're not playing the part of the grizzled old veteran. Just
Yeah.
you're coloring your hair. It's the same shit. It's just for men. You can your hair short. That bottle will take care of everything. Trust me, I know.
But very a very 80s match. Very let's highlight Mark his knees and legs and the 2.0 did some all right heel fucking is interrupted but when CM Punk had to go jump off the top rope, he fell to the ground.
Yep.
He maybe brushed a shoulder, but no, he went flat straight to the ground. And I'm like, oof, I bet that fucker hurt. So they're gonna have him go do against another flippity guy, Matt Seidel, who started the AEW campaign. His first AEW match, he fell off the turnbuckle too. That was funny. But
Yeah. And the thing is, mistakes happen. But like in WWE on their tape shows, mistakes never happen. They edit them. You know, Paul Heyman was too lazy to edit his shit in ECW where mistakes happen all the time. He clipped it. CM Punk, that match was taped Wednesday night. It aired 2 days later. You could do some editing. I mean, you really could. But yeah, I didn't care for it. I'm tired of him already. You know, I think they should have opened with the second match with the Lucha Brothers because the Acclaim can have a good match. Lucha Brothers are probably the best tag team out there. I put them right up there with the Bucks, if not better. And you know, and they had a good match. You know, that everybody hit the flippity moves. Got the
mhm.
spot with the boom box to the head. You know, you got the cheating out there. You got them referencing Arn Anderson's gun and a rap. I mean, and it was short. It was actually a shorter match than Punk's match.
It was.
Fast. It got the point across. Lucha Brothers went over, which we all knew they were, and it was just a good match. I really like the Lucha Brothers. I mean, the Ray Phoenix might be the most talented wrestler in the world right now, in my opinion, or Phoenix, as Excalibur calls him for some reason.
No, it it's good. It just again,
It was a throwaway though.
yeah.
You, in both of the cases of these matches, these first two matches, there was no chance in fucking holy hell that Punk wasn't going to win or the Lucha Brothers weren't going to win. It was very, I have to say, 80s. It was basically a glorified job match in both of these cases.
They need a these small weeks will affect down the road when you have no other person besides Jurassic Express or elite people uh, up there to be even threats. So everything becomes a job match. So you don't even have to watch unless you're if that's the plan of AW is we got name people, but they're so limited. We can sell a pay per view at the drop of a hat because I was would just make money matches there. Is that the game? You have people come, you're getting sold out shows each week, but there's some moment when they're like, hey, there's no other people on here besides the three tag teams that are worth a damn.
Well, and,
It
and like
just
my big thing, my back hurts. My big thing, you have what I like about them is they have 2 to 3 months to plan for a pay per view. They don't have to do them every 3 weeks like the WWE does. Maybe instead of having like this week, instead of having these three matches, you have your little Punk, CM Punk match, maybe 5 minutes. You know, now let's go in the back and we got Hangman Page, and he's talking. Haven't decided yet. Am I cashing in at the full gear? Am I gonna wait? Do I want to get some warm up? But that's telling you maybe at the pay per view he's gonna fight. Maybe we do another vignette of the Dark Order. Now they're getting back on track and they're gonna make plans to do something at at Full Gear. Then we have our tag match with the Lucha Brothers and that. Now we're going back to the back and we've got Britt Baker. And she's like, now Rebel, I want you to go after this TBS belt. And we have all of them and at Full Gear. You can build it. Your shows, they say it's an hour. It's fucking 40 minutes without the commercials. Match, adventure stories, match. You don't put 3 or 4 rush matches in there just to kill time, especially if they don't mean anything. AEW can make everything mean something because they have time to build properly to their pay-per-views.
Right. No,
Arn
and
should be shooting things, preventing rapes. We need Arn to do things.
no, right. And again, it goes into like, who is selling this to the person who does the final verdict of each show? Are you selling snake oil and you just can sell really well? You know what I mean? Just help, there's ways to help the brand. But then we go to the women's match, which is a job session 2, which ended, but then also had a whole gimmick of Thunder Rosa being mad at Jade Cargill, which is like, oh boy.
And Thunder Rosa is the money. They've openly, in the world of the internet, some of these people get chatty, and AEW has said, her and Britt Baker's the money. We want to push her to the moon. She popped up last night at Game Changer Wrestling in a 5-way fuckery scramble match. So made a 6 scramble match. She was that crowd. She didn't win. That crowd loved her. They ate her up. She's over. And yet, yeah, you don't advance her. You just have her mad at Jade Cargill and Smart Mark Sterling is terrible. It's just, it was another throwaway. It's like, well, we've got to have that women's match on our show. You look like you're doing nothing. You're sitting here. Go out and have a match.
I didn't know this until I just looked down. So at Full Gear, there'll be a world title eliminator tournament.
Why? Adam Page is the number 1 contender.
Bracket announced this Saturday at Dynamite.
Now, is this going to be like for the Owen Hart tournament thing they got going?
It says world title eliminator.
So the pay-per-view is going to be a big King of the Ring like tournament with the winner getting an Omega shot,
or a Page shot. Who knows? Are they already announcing in front of us? Like, yeah, Kane's going to drop the belt at Full Gear. Is that what makes people which wants, like, are they doing like a magician's hand? Look at this hand while this is going on. I don't know, but
I would like a tournament. Like I remember back in my day, King of the Ring, you had to win 3 matches. Maybe if you go back to the Wrestling Classic, 4 matches, to win. AEW has the guys that can work 3-4 matches in a night. Kenny Omega give you 3 matches in a night, and they'd all be 5 stars. All of the Elite could. The Jurassic Express could. The Lucha Brothers could. Don't put Punk in there. He puts you to sleep. But they have plenty of guys that could, conceivably, you could have one guy have to wrestle for 90-something minutes, maybe 2 hours. They have people there that can do it. They could do a one-night tournament.
right. No, and it goes into that. Don't do what WWE's doing. Just because WWE's doing King of the Ring, you don't have to do it.
No.
You could. That's or Queen of the Ring. They're doing either. I'm like, just you don't have to do that. You're. But
WWE might stink, but it ain't going. It ain't going nowhere. And in terms of your little demographics, you could be winning your demo. You're not winning the ratings. Just like, but look, they sold out a 20,000 seat building. They sold out 157,000 seat building. Don't be anything like WWE. Don't associate with WWE. Don't hire everybody that leaves WWE. Being your own company is what's making you successful. Yeah, quit trying to copy that formula. It's whether you want to admit you are or not, you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Film a video. Here we go. Arn Anderson standing out in the corner, and he's like, God damn it. We're doing a tournament. We got to put a stop to this, big shotty. and he pulls out his Glock and you see him entering the corporate building. And, you just assume it's WWE, I mean, where was Arn? I mean,
It
I'm
just
going
says
back, the highlight of the week, Arn Anderson burning shit.
give him a just have him it says entering Connecticut, but then it doesn't show where he's at or like the building. Just all right, time to go.
That's the way you do it, and so the women's match meant nothing. And then it's set up. I'm gonna tell you, I'm old school ECW. I co-host with Gary Wolf. I'm anxious to get his opinion on this. Ricky Starks against Brian Cage, Philadelphia street fight, which basically means no rules, for the Fuck the World title, a belt that even Taz on the announcing thing said not recognized ever by anyone. So what the fuck are you even mentioning it for? And even though the belt's not recognized, this match is for the belt. So somebody sanctioned it. There's no blood. You need blood in a street fight, especially when you got all these company guys over there that John Moxley fucking bleed for free. In the match, in Jericho, he's got a fucking pool cue, and Jericho's like, "What is that? One of those telescope looky things?" Or I don't know what he called it by its actual name, but it was like, and Cage did the job again. The highlight of the other highlight, I apologize. The other highlight I saw, there was a sign, a 3-man sign on Dynamite said, "Punk fears Hook." Why? Where was Punk? He's more over in the whole game. The match was terrible. It was a street fight, and it was boring.
I saw that Ricky Starks bled just like sweat. He didn't bleed at the end, and then that was after all his buddies Hook and Hobbs came out of nowhere to help, and it was just bad booking. Maybe Brian Cage's wife's right.
I think he is underused. I admit that, but because she said that, is he being punished for that? Because I mean, this guy fucking loses to everybody, and he's an awesome.
This is the first time he's been on the show for weeks.
Yeah.
And then to get jobbed out to Ricky Starks, and not even about Ricky Starks, is about the idea that, hey, you've been gone for 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. Who knows? We're going to make you still worry about that fucking FTW belt for no reason. Or we could have done the right thing. We're going to finish this right now and have you tag team with CM Punk, help CM Punk look good in the fucking ring to have a breather. Have Brian Cage end this whole thing, and they all can part their separate ways, and have Brian Cage go and be like, he could have been part of that ladder match. Not saying he's going, but he also was allowed to be in it because he was a Cage. Excuse me. He was a ladder winner prior. But hey, no one wants to remember. That's why I'm here to audit the AEW storyline to help them. But
you have Moxley, a former champion. He gets locked in a feud with Ultimo Dragon. And where's that? Where's that old man at? He's back in Japan. So that's nothing. Where was Kingston at this week? I mean, Orange Cassidy somehow earns a fucking title shot. Has a 3-way match with Omega. It's a fucking good match. And now he's with the Matt Hardy gang. And there was no inclination of hair cutting this week.
nope.
Chris Statlander has this little mini feud with the Britt Baker's gang, and nothing. She dressed like a fucking barber the next week. It's almost like it's, I've really been watching Punk, and I like Punk's gonna be. It's all flavor of the month booking.
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
But it's still better than WWE. I have to stress that. I mean, it's still the best company. It's just this week did not showcase it for me. I thought this week was terrible. The highlight of this week was Arn. Well, I'm going to be for Halloween, by the way.
With the gun?
Hell yeah. I'll have my gun with me on the show we do that airs on Saturdays are when the show airs. That's Devil's Night. I might have to start a fire too.
When?
Well, Seth, isn't Halloween on a Sunday this year?
Yeah.
See, so Saturday's Devil's Night. And that's when we record this normally. So yeah, I can dress like Arn and have a gun.
Yeah.
More booking. I could book Arn in anything right now.
He's hot. He's
Yes, he's the hottest man in sports entertainment. It's
he's
Arn
the
Anderson.
he's the he's the hottest athlete with a double ARP subscription right now.
Think if we can get him in the ring. Think of JR. He could tell us where Arn played football because I'm pretty sure he did. He can tell us about all the old school stuff, like like JR likes to do.
He
There's
said he did say about someone's football thing this week.
is it me or does he not say slobber knocker?
Sometimes,
I wonder if he does say bowling shoe ugly, the Fez press. He does get off a lot of his things. I wish somebody would have said they were glad Hangman Page showed up for work. I could see it now. They get ready for full gear. Tony, I got my wife pregnant again. I'm going to need the next 8 months off. Well, okay. No, hopefully she's not going to have any more kids until after he gets the title.
yeah, hopefully.
I didn't like this week. I really
Nope.
didn't. I not at all. I thought it was a bad week.
Yeah, I don't. It was a lackluster. Just it goes into that idea that we said before the last pay per view. It just feels like a filler, and we're gonna go. It feels like we're probably at the start of the filler shit before a pay per view of AEW. Still better than WWE, like you said,
Yeah.
but just
You don't do fillers a month before your pay-per-view. That's when you make everything exciting because you want people to spend their $50. I hope they haven't fallen into the trap of, well, there are fans who are just gonna buy it. I mean, we will, but let's get the casual fans. You have to get it. You have to keep advancing to where you're going because everybody
right.
said, and I don't pay attention to this nonsense, but everybody said the ratings were down this week from the last week.
This week sucked.
It did. Needed more Arn.
Yeah.
He needs to kill drug dealers. He needs to revenge attempted rape. There's a lot of crime, and think of how much crime Arn could have cleaned up in Philly.
Arn could have been out in the garage shooting the Pinnacle, helping Darby.
That's what he needs to do. Like you don't even have to do anything. Just hear it. And you cut to black. Leave it to your imagination. But they need to. I guarantee you, the next time Arn comes down, he's going to get a bigger pop than anybody in that fucking building because of that one promo. And I will be popping for him because of that promo.
Me too.
We made fun of him for carrying a menu for 5 weeks. Now we praise him. I mean, the one thing can turn everything around. I mean, awesome promo.
Yeah. We have internet attention spans, and that gun took away all the menu ideas.
It did. Yeah. I mean,
he's Doc stopped putting up the Kevin Nash, Arn Anderson. Now we're worried about making sure he has a Glock on him.
Yep. It's because at first, when he fell, all I could picture was Kevin doing that. And now all I picture him is with that gun. Like, so, I mean, it's just, well, I mean, if you think about it, Steve Austin was nothing. Austin 316, whoop ass, hottest guy in the world. All it takes is one lousy thing to make you the hottest thing in the world. Arn found it. I mean, capitalize on it. Have that fucker run it till it's dead.
Yeah.
Or he shoots it. I mean, you just.
Or you have him like this and go like, and then it goes to black, and then Arn's, he's over. He's done.
Yeah. It's have him shoot Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
He do nothing. He got fired from everything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he needs to shoot people. This is fake, but let's just put more emphasis. He's got to teach Cody to be tougher now and everything. Cody can paint a star on like his face that's bleeding and all that. I mean, there's a lot you can do with this.
Yeah.
I don't know. This week was not good for me.
Not good for me either. Still that B-C plus all around overall.
I go a solid C for me, but hopefully next week will be better. And next week we'll be back on our normal time. I know we're a day late today, but that was because of truthfully, that was because of bad planning. I got stuck having to work yesterday and Game Changer Wrestling.
We're gonna be late because also the Dynamite Saturday.
Dynamite Saturday. So yeah, actually we'll be back again
Probably around the same time.
probably next Sunday. Yeah. So yeah, instead of Saturday, Sunday, but hit the like, hit the subscribe, closing in on that 1,000 subscribers. Um, you know, just click a button. It don't take
Yeah.
much. Make up an account. You don't even have to tell your parents. It can be our secret.
Whoa.
Subscribe or I'll call Arn Anderson.
Yeah. Subscribe or Arn's gonna come to you knocking at your door.
I don't know. With that, I don't have anything else to say. How about you?
Bang.